right. I know I said I made it sound like I was finished. I don't know why I be trying to beat that clock. This 10 minutes. Maybe if it wasn't there, I'll keep talking. And I got to get some more disk space because it's not letting me upload no more than 10 minutes from this thing. Anywho, my second one is one that I know I make a lot of Saint mad. You know, one thing people need to understand is that I am not a religious church, folks. If you want to cast me out the church for that, then do so. I used to be very religious, like a lot of you, and I had to come through the doors for the Lord to pull me out. But I learned that religion folks cannot live. They cannot live. They're in heaven already. They are. They're in heaven. Yeah, you church folks, you're already in heaven, and you're not adjusting to the earth. Yeah, and so you go to work, but you're still heavenly minded. Everywhere you go, you're heavenly minded. You cannot operate in the natural. You cannot truly become successful because you're too busy thinking about heaven and what God wants. Productivity is what you desire. And a lot of you are not where you want to be. You're not. You're not contented. You're not happy. And being uncontented, if that's the word, or not contented, is good if it's making you push toward what you want. Okay? But to be contented in one place and not moving, and know you're not moving based on what you believe, is terrible. And a lot of you're in heaven already. I'm not like that now. The Lord has brought me through that. And so a lot of this that I talk about, there are issues. You may feel like a church folk should not be talking about these issues because you're heavily minded. But if you go into the Bible talks about the law. The law was society. That's God dealt with the law first and foremost. As soon as he brought the children of Israel out of Egypt, out of bondage, he gave them stipulations. He gave them rules and regulations. That's what he did to them. And that was to keep them in order. And we have already learned about the law. The law is the same thing we are dealing with today. Justice. What's right? What's not right? You may want to call them rumors. And again, I said the other day, when you have folks that dislike you, everything you do is wrong. So you have to look over that. But for those of you who have been brainwashed to believe that the walls of fire have been gossiping, we have been speaking issues. Who makes up issues? As I taught you yesterday, people create issues. So when you talk issues, you're going to talk people. Is it a rumor? Is it a gossip? Is it a lie? We can break it all down. You know, what's a lie? A lie is with someone and purposely speaking something that's not true. That's a lie. A lie is when the heart is damaged, and they're trying to brainwash you, or twist your opinion about something. I'm not trying to twist your opinion because I can care less about what you think. Honestly, I don't have to lie. I can be direct. God has made me direct. There's no reason for me to lie because I'm reporting the news. And it's the news that I've received from you all, which could be rumors, and I try to sift through it, making sure it's accurate. So far, it's been legit. It's been accurate. And then some may need a little sprucing up. But, as I always say, one lady said that, what is it called? Accusation. Accusations always lead to investigation. And one thing that investigation will establish is genuine, I can't say the word, but it will establish right or wrong, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. You say, well, some things not your business. Well, if it's in the news, hey, it's in the news. So we want to know what's right. Some of you love watching news. You just don't like certain folks saying it. Yeah, you got to deal with yourself. Admit, you have to deal with yourself. You have to deal with yourself. That's the bottom line. You got to deal with who you are. You got hate. And so we can't worry about that. They release, especially, on the walls of fire, or even in ministry, you can feel people that release hatred. And they will sit in what's yours all the time just to be a hindrance. But the Lord may allow them to, to stay right there just to make you strong. That's a weight. I preached that years ago about going into the gym and being out of shape. The Lord knows you're not ready for certain things, so he got to get you up in shape. And so you sit up in there and you go into the gym. When you first start lifting weight, you're tired, you can't do it. You're motivated. Sometimes your adrenaline is running and, you're trying to pick up something and it's heavy and then you finally get it up. And then now you can pump it. And then you pump it and it's too easy. That means your weight has already built up to that level. So it's time to put something harder on there. And then you go back over the process over and over again. But it's building something in you. You're no longer that person you started off with. That's how our problems are. The Lord allowed them to come upon us. He allowed people to sit right in our midst, to teach us self-control, to show us where we're at. They become a mirror to who we are. And then we build ourselves up to rise up over them. And so they have to go away. Even if they don't go away in the physical, they'll go away in our mind. But yeah, they're no problem to us anymore. So we have to learn to lift up these weights and walk on. Some of you who want to stay on the wall in spite of what you feel, just stay there. You're not going to stop me from talking. You hackers that's up there adding words to what I'm saying, you stay up there because you're still learning. You know what you put in there. If I'm not teaching anyone else, I'm teaching you. If you have to read through my stuff just to find out where you're going to put them bad words that you've been adding up to my sentence, yeah, you still reading. And I know mine is anointed, baby. And I know those who are out there they know what's me and what's not me. Okay? And I saw some of y'all calming down. Y'all not doing as bad as y'all used to. I don't know why, but you're not doing as bad as you used to. You're okay. Y'all stay up there. I ain't going to run y'all away because the Lord may send me to hackers. All these other people may not be interested. I may be preaching to the hackers. Yeah, but I still got an audience. All it takes is one person. It takes for you to have one fan to make you someone. I could walk around here with one person that won't enjoy me. That's all. I remember the Lord told me a long time ago when he called me to the internet. He said, if it's just one. I said, Lord, if it's just one. And he looked at me and said, that one is you. You know, sometimes you sit around talking to yourself. You're encouraging yourself. You have to motivate yourself. That's not being crazy to talk to yourself. I talk to myself all the time. I sit here and get my greatest thoughts from my books. I get my greatest thoughts for what to say to you from talking to dealing with myself. That's what it's called. Not so much talking to yourself. I fantasize a lot. Amen. I know the difference between fantasy and reality. That's why I can handle sitting down in my fantasy. I've been praying for years. Lord, I started when I was 9 years old. I call it mind control. Mind control at 9, it had me. I would drive places and not know how I got from one point to the next because my mind would wander off. That was just a part of my mind. I was going through issues as you know. I always said when I was 9 years old, I said the Lord's going to make me a writer. I kid you not, I said that. I'm telling you before God. Why did I say that? Because my imagination was so vivid. It was so wild. I could sit up there in a minute. And sometime in school, I sit up there. I'll just start my mind to go off. I mean, I'll go into a fantasy world. And so when I went to teach that, the Lord showed me a lot of times when you're having problems, emotional problems within, you escape through your mind. Your mind automatically escapes. You're not hurting anyone. It's not being crazy. Ever since 9. And then I got married. When something new and fresh come into your life, it makes the mind stop. But then when you get tired, you tend to go back into your state of mind. I've done that for years, but do you not know how the Lord has taken what the devil meant for bad and turned around for good? I write my books through that. I sit down here, I even come to the internet. When the Lord gives me something, he drops it in my spirit, it goes through my mind. I say, oh yeah, that's a good topic. I already thought about it. So when I get on the internet and I begin to talk about the topic, I don't go back in what I saw in my mind. I start from there and I write to you according to what I see. And that's how I make my books. God has dealt with me on that. I sit here and I encourage myself. It's not always bad to sit here and encourage yourself first, because everyone is not going to encourage you. I encourage myself. You do have to balance it out. It's not good because some folks flip the other way, but the Lord uses mine to encourage me. I can sit up here and I don't fantasize like I used to when I was 9 or in my youth. I fantasize that I was somebody else or somewhere else because of where I was at, the situation I was in. You know, sometimes as children, my grandmother having so many to deal with, you know, we want special attention we don't get. And we deal with that as youth. I went into my mind and found my fulfillment. I used to play teachers by myself when I was little. I was the youngest of I don't know how many grandkids in the house. And I dealt with a whole lot. I dealt with my cousin, them, and they loved me. But they would tell me my daddy was green because I hadn't seen him at the time. You know, I had my little eye. Once I got shot in my eye, I was called cross-sided. Even in school, folks talked about me. Yeah, but I was still a pretty girl. I still got little boyfriends, but still yet I had that image problem. So I would stay in the house a lot. I would play teachers by myself. I put my papers on the bed. And that's something that children do. You know, that's the way the Lord dealt with me. I enjoyed myself by myself. You know, that I've always done that. And so now when I go back into my mind like that and I see myself, and sometimes I act it out too, I have fun. I have fun with myself. People may call it psychotic, but I don't think it's psychotic because it makes you happy. You come out and now you see reality. It's like anything else. Yeah, it's like anything else. You've got your film. I don't have TV, but I have it within my mind. I sit here and I laugh, especially since I have Facebook. Facebook has been such a fulfillment because I'll go back over something in my mind and then I go back and redo it in my mind. This way it should have been done, you know, and then I write it down and I enjoy myself through myself, my own writings. I enjoy myself by reading my writings and I go back and rehearse my writings and I go back and redo my writings. You know, that's the way I